Hey sisters! Alright. Hey guys. So I've been asked for tutorials before, mostly from Kat. Love you, Kat. But from other people too, so I thought I would do a tutorial for you guys today of what makeup I'm going to do for work. It's Valentine's Day weekend, so obviously we've got to have pink or reds or whatever. Today I'm going to do pink. And I'm going to do something a little softer. I mean, it's still going to have vibrant colors, but something that you could wear for Valentine's Day that's not too crazy and it's not too hard to do. I don't think. You guys can let me know if you feel like something's difficult or if I don't explain something well, let me know. Because this is obviously my first tutorial. So first, I'm going to tell you what you need. You're going to need an eyeshadow primer. I use the Urban Decay Primer Potion. If you don't have a primer, it's okay. It's just, it really makes the colors pop and it helps it last a long time. Especially for someone like with hooded eyelids like I do. If I don't have a primer on, things crease, melt together, melt while I'm working and getting sweaty. And we want to make sure our makeup lasts during anything sweaty. Am I right? Sorry, Grandma. So first thing I'm going to do is put that on. You don't need a whole lot. Just enough to kind of cover your bases, right? And pat that in with your finger. It helps to do this instead of with a brush because it just melts it into your skin basically. And it's good. I make sure to get the corners as far as up I can. If you guys notice, I gave myself bangs. Quarantine, am I right? I don't think they look bad. I think I did actually a pretty good job cutting my hair in general. Hopefully my mom would be proud. But now they just get in the freaking way. So if you see me just like do that. The other thing you're gonna need is a flat brush. So something like this. And a blending brush. So something like this. I like this one. It came with a palette I had because it's dual and I just clean off as I go. Even though I have 20 million brushes and I could use different brushes. The colors I've chosen today, since we're going for a pink look, are from my new Morphe makeup palette that Ashton got me. Thank you, Ashton. Isn't it gorgeous? So I'm gonna be doing this pink, this like dark maroon pink-ish. Obviously you can do any colors you want. For pinks, and for like a shadow look, you always kind of want to choose a lighter, oh, and I'm going to be using this very light one too. A very light color, a medium, and then a dark to help build the shadow effect. And you can do that with any colors that you want. I'm just going to do it with it really pops because I'm extra. And then I'm also going to be using this super cheap palette I got from like Kohl's or something for my highlight. This little white, as you can see, I've used it a bunch. Just remember, you don't have to have an expensive palette to do this, okay? CVS, Walgreens, they have makeup that's decent and not too overpriced. So just remember that. Okay, so first thing I'm gonna do is take my my blend brush here, and I'm just gonna lightly go in with my light color. Make sure to dust off extra pigment. And I have a mirror right behind me, so I might like see me do that, but and I'm just gonna kind of go over very softly the kind of shape I want, and I'll probably go back and blend with this a little bit more, but just kind of highlighting, as you can see. And the shape I kind of want is like a who are you? All right, now I'm gonna go with my flat brush. I'm gonna go for that really bright pink, what is it called? Puppy Love. Oh, how fitting. And my flat brush. And again, making my shape first and then we blend out. So starting in my crease, I'm going just a little bit above. And it's okay if it's not perfect. Remember, we're gonna blend out. We're gonna form our shape as we go. And sometimes, it's like improv, There's no such thing as mistakes, only happy accidents, because this is how you figure out the shapes you want, especially for people with hooded lids, like what you want to do with your shape and what makes sense for your eyes, because everyone's gonna be different. Maybe you don't want it to go out as far. Maybe you have, you know, these really nice lids that show everything, so maybe you don't want to go as high up. Just kind of figure that out, but you can see what I kind of do is create my shape and give it a lot of pigment, because when we blend, obviously it's going to lose some of it, like that. And something I always end up doing is like these eyes never freaking match, because they're different shapes. But just remember, sisters, okay? They're sisters. They don't have to be identical twins. They just need to be sisters. That's looking pretty good. I'm gonna go in with a little bit more of my lighter pink, which this one's Ballerina Bunnies, and use that to start blending. Now when you blend, go in circular motions around the edges here, like this. Right? And you don't want to like, because then you're just moving your color around. You want to blend it out and go like a little farther back on your brush. That way you have a more even blend. You can see that kind of blending out there. Into circles, going around and round. Bring it around, down. Honestly, there's a SpongeBob meme for everything. That's the meme for blending. Okay. I'm gonna go back in just a touch more with my actual color. So give it a little bit more pigment. See where I'm working here. See what needs to be, you know, adjusted. This down just a little bit. Now I'm gonna get my Roxy and Rolly, or Rolly, I don't know. Put that in. Don't know how this color is gonna look. If it's even gonna look like a pink. I usually do like purples and pinks. So, and now I'm patting it in my corner. And my crease, you're not gonna go very high up on this. If we wanna blend it up more, we'll blend it up more. But we want to keep it kind of more down here because we don't want to cover up the color we just blended. See that? And follow your shape out a little bit, not too much, because remember we're going to blend. And it's okay if it gets on your lid. You can see I'm kind of trying to not cover my lid completely because we're going to do a cut crease. But you can do that if it's easier, if you're like the shape is hard or you don't want to go too far up. We're gonna clean the spot anyway, basically, so it is okay. But we do want it on the corner here. So, and then we're also gonna bring this color down under our lid. Like that. And that also helps with the shape, because I'm like, oh, I can go out a little bit more. And trust the process. I know this looks freaking batshit crazy right now. I'm sorry, I don't want to curse, but I'm a sailor in the sea. See that one? I feel like it went up a little too much, but that's okay. No mistakes, only happy accidents, only happy. I'm such a perfectionist too, so that's hard for me to remember. And so like, I'm always kind of surprised when people are like, oh, your makeup looks so even. And I'm over here like, do not see, do not see. I've already had 4 shots of espresso today and it's 11 a.m. Adam got me an espresso machine, which maybe wasn't the best idea, but I love him for it. I love it. I still buy Starbucks. It's okay, we want this to be pretty dark because remember, we're going to blend. Blending is key, darling. Fundamental. I've been watching RuPaul's Drag Race, if you can't tell. All right. Now we're gonna blend. So, same thing we just did, right? Circles. Circles, circles. I didn't add any color to this for my blending brush. That's like people ask me, they're like, oh, do you watch tutorials? How do you do these makeup looks? Like, how do you figure it out? Trial and error, honey, trial and error. And that's how, like, the whole last year, the year before, I was just like, oh, I see a picture and I'm like, oh, I like that. Let's figure out how to do it. And instead of watching a tutorial, which probably would have saved me more time and less stress, I didn't. I just winged it because I'm lazy. And even though I'm making a tutorial and expecting you guys to watch it, I don't watch tutorials. So I'm going back in with my darker color, making sure, especially the corner, that's what really creates a nice shadow look, is a dark corner. Okay, and I'm gonna kind of go on with my crease a little bit more, not a lot, but just so we have a very clear definition between the two colors I used. All right, cut crease time. What you're gonna need for your cut crease is anything. So I think a lot of makeup artists use like a cut crease thing, like a product made to do cut creases. Never done that. What I've always used is either concealer, or I really like this e.l.f. Dual Conceal and Highlight, and I just use the highlighter. That might be weird, but I just like the pop, and I usually put like a silver. So, and then I just put it here, and it's okay if it folds up. We're making the cut crease, right? It's supposed to go into your crease. I don't want like a crazy amount, but like that. And then this type of brush, you see it's like almost like a little paintbrush, right? And we're gonna dab. Dab, 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 dab. Make our cut crease. And then it's exactly kind of how I want it. I've dabbed it in. Now I'm gonna create a straighter line. And this is gonna kind of get rid of some of that makeup we already have on. And I want it to go a little further in. Doesn't have to be perfect. Kind of like that. All right, so I know you can't even really see this, but it's like a white glittery color. You can use anything. You can use gold if you want, but I think silver goes better with pink. And we're just gonna pat it in. Don't do anything. Just pat, 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 pat. See, look how gorgeous that is. There we go. Beautiful. I'm gonna go back in with my darker color. See, this is why it'd be useful to have multiple brushes, because you could just have one brush for the dark color, one brush for the light color. I'm stupid, whatever. Don't listen to me. Why are you guys even listening to this? That's just how I do it. Really make sure it stands out. Yeah. Right? Like that. I use for eyeliner, roll on like this, and that might be weird because I just like put it on. I'm gonna do like a lot of the work. And I also go in with like, I don't even know what brand this is, and just make sure my back of my eyes. Beautiful. This is what I use for brows. I use Benefits Cosmetics. This one, and a number 3. It's the precise one. Then I've got like a more filler, goof proof. Then I also have their like gel. So I'm gonna go with the thin one first. Brush up. Brush. Bangs! Get out of here. And then I'm gonna kind of make my lines gently of the shape that I want. Going up a little bit. You don't want the front to be too dark. Kind of want it to fade in. I have a little slit and you can't even like see this in because I flicked too much. Now for eyebrows, they're cousins. Just, at least for me, they've never looked like sisters in their entire life. We're gonna go fill it in a little bit more. The gel. Be careful. Don't use too much. This is just a kind of, it's like a tinted, keep your hair in place kind of thing. Make it look more feathered and gorgeous. Just a touch of concealer, not a lot. Like a lot of people will like put a whole fucking, don't do that. I'm sorry, a whole, I don't know if I'm gonna edit this, but take out all the curse words. I'll just put a warning. That's a little, and this will also help you, you know, shape your brows if you want. Or your brows here. This will help you shape your eyeshadow. Man, maybe that coffee did not help today. You guys aren't gonna even know what I'm saying half the time. Cousins. They were roommates. That's how I do my brows. From a distance. Dang, bro. Oh, close. What the heck? Conceal our eyes. And this will help fix like if this is too low, stuff like that. You don't need a whole lot. Now here and a dab up. And then since we're doing the mask, I'm gonna put a little bit on my forehead. A little bit on my nose. And then this is gonna help me make my shape. Pat on that baby. Wow. Gave myself a concussion doing that. Alright, now we're going to bake. What is baking, Marissa? It's where you take a powder. I'm just gonna use this cheap one. I normally, if I'm doing like my full face, I would use like this, which is a really like, it's meant for like baking. But I'm just gonna use this because we don't need a lot under our eyes. Don't put a lot under your eyes. Just setting. My forehead a little bit, basically anywhere you put concealer. Now you're gonna let it bake. I'm just gonna leave it. Mascara. And this is definitely something I've learned that I think is a really helpful trick for mascara because I don't like fake eyelashes. I have very small eyes. They tend to be very heavy on my eyelids, so it's hard to, one, keep my eyelids open, and then two, for you to even see my freaking eyeballs. So what I do is I curl that, and then I take whatever mascara, which I like Too Faced better than Sex. Oh, yes. And when you do this, don't hold it like this. Hold it back kind of like this. Go under and shake as you spin. This is going to help for volume and it's gonna help you not clump. And ever since I started doing this, I've gotten more compliments. Like, my mom was like, oh, are you wearing fake eyelashes? And I was like, no. She's like, oh, good job. This will also help with your mascara if you have any fallout, like. Boom, 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 boom. I know this is gonna look weird compared to the rest of my face, like all red and stuff, but remember, mask. So who cares? Last thing we're gonna do is highlight. It's like a lip brush. Very thin, very tiny. You can use whatever. We're just gonna accent with that light color we used from here. Not a whole lot, just do the corner of my eye. And that's my eye makeup look for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. I hope it was helpful. I feel like you shouldn't listen to me, but if you wanted to, this is the look. Shouldn't have to sign off if I'm gonna do tutorials.